And now a confidence booster, a morale boost, a psychological advantage as they try to round out a victory that they will hope can take them within one win of a first ABSA Premiership title in 5 seasons.
An excellent start for Kaizer Chiefs initially. Nurkovic getting the flick on. Matoho done extremely well just to keep it in play. We see that a lot of numbers in the box for Kaizer Chiefs. That shows the intent. Another delicate touch from Nurkovic, just getting a touch, and the brilliant Billiat on the far post puts his side ahead. Kaizer Chiefs won.
I wasn't going to mention it, but of course, Billiat, of course, did me no favours once upon a time playing against Chippa United in the Nedbank Cup semi-final last season. When in the very cold air of Port Elizabeth, where you don't sit inside the commentary booth, just outside, and cold air swirling around at the top of the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, commentating the match, and the voice was a little croaky as a result of the cold weather. Feels for a handball here as the baller steered it into Sabiumba. No reaction from referee Chivani, allowing play to continue through Beto Mapanga. But when he scored an absolute cracker late on to round out for Chippa United. Ian Bernard Parker scored late in that game, in that 4-2 win. What a thrilling match that turned out to be. It almost broke my voice.
Pops up when the team really needs him. It's fair to say that he hasn't had his best season, Tama Billiat.
Yeah, Billiat in the second goal of the season in the penultimate match. There's Hamaldin. He finished tied for 4th in the goal-scoring charts in the Glad Africa Championship with Hamaldin, but he only played half a season. 3 more players managed to score more goals than he did. Nico Musiaklacha, former Wits player, ended up as top goal scorer for Ajax Cape Town. Unfortunately for the side, they fell 1 goal short of being automatically promoted to the South African top tier. There's Matoho. The outside. Billiat looks heavily involved. He's had some good touches in the early stages. Found the early goal as well. Good anticipation on that ball that came into the area. A scrambling run from him to get there in the first place.
You could see that the instruction before the game was he needs to play a little bit closer to Nurkovic. As a result, that you could be first to the second ball, and with the goal, that is exactly what happened. Nurkovic getting the touch, and like you mentioned, doing great anticipation from Billiat.
Oh, lovely ball in here again, combining with Manyama. Delivery from Muleko towards Nurkovic, who still goes in search of goal number 14 this ABSA Premiership campaign. Got a firm head behind it, but on target.
He just rose above the defender there, Nurkovic, from a standing position.
His hang time is so impressive. Middle of the park. Malepe to the near side. Dukola sitting forward. There's only long as seen very little of the ball in the early stages. Just guiding back to Mordwais, a man who's not unused to wearing the captain's armband. Tertius Malepe has been national youth international captain, under 20 and under 23 captain. In fact, captained the under-23 side that qualified successfully for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. And steered away by Frosler. The Olympic Games, of course, having been postponed to next year. Dubola, another player, really struggled with injuries of late, so hoping to stay healthy, stay fit, stay strong, so that he can try to cement his starting place in this Chippa United side. And from Uruguay, who actually went to school right around the court from Tambo International Airport at Morecambe Park High School in Kempton Park.
Tapola provided the assist for Chippa's win against Baraka. We see Quinn getting the only goal of the game. Let's see Chippa away from that danger zone, relegation.
Fine finish it was as well from Quinn. After Klung's goal against Stellenbosch on Friday, he's been preferred in the starting lineup. So the Nigerian sits on the bench. Has achieved 3 early chances, goal attempts. Effectively 100 passes complete inside 40 minutes.
That shows the intent very early on, very direct.
I just want to go back to Zakela Siwela, Stanton. Zakela Siwela, who's arguably one of South Africa's finest ever match officials. And I would suggest, based on the grass cutting, completely correct that Hamildine had straight into an offside position. Zakela Siwela turns 38 today. A man who's been on the FIFA panel since 2010. There he is. Happy birthday, Zakela Siwela. He's a loving father of 2. He's a family man. He's a businessman. He's a mentor. He's a fitness enthusiast. But he is patient. He is disciplined. And he is an absolute example and international ambassador for South Africa. And let me tell you, on the international stage, he's very highly regarded. In the same vein as the Ahmad Salihs, Ari Soldatus, Carlos Enriquez, the Jerome Damons, the Enoch Molefis, the South African refereeing world, the Daniel Bennetts. As Lentjes goes down, moving on to that rib cage. Can he play 90 minutes is a big question mark. But certainly, Lihlon Olisiema, once his maturity and composure on the field for this match against Kaizer Chiefs. Great chance here. Hamildine takes a deflected shot that Kune manages to touch onto. Tumile Kune, good hands on that after taking the deflection.
Excellence of his distribution, just like riding a bicycle. And that's really provides a different aspect to the attacking side of Kaizer Chiefs, especially if they're going to use the counter-attack with the likes of Bilat. Kune's distribution.
Oh, beautiful again. Through ball, Bilat searching for Froslo and Nurkovic, who were both running into attacking positions.
You can actually see in the body language this evening for Bilat, even before he scored the goal, that it looks like he's up for it tonight.
Yeah, which is something we can't say we've seen from him throughout this campaign. He's not consistently looked like the Kama Bilat that looks to be among the most dangerous players in the league every season. I think it's something that I highlighted as well recently when talking about Footballer of the Season awards. He was Footballer of the Season 2015-2016 season. He was at Mamelodi Sundowns. How often it seems to be a bit of a death knell for the players who win the award.
And they made reference to Ninkosi Loch because when you do win Player of the Season, the next season you're coming up against defenders and they want to prove themselves to you. They're more alert of you. They see much more of you, so they study you. So it's up to you to take it to the next level. And I think Bilat is obviously always a dangerous player and he needs to come up with different dynamics to his game to create more space. But certainly the quality is there. It's just how much do you want it?
That's fair enough. There's a host of former Player of the Season winners on the pitch, actually. Kama Bilat, 2015-2016. Lebohang Manyama was the season after that, in 2016-2017. It was at Cape Town City. Superb, that campaign was Lebohang Manyama. Earned him that move to Turkey, where he played in the Turkish top flight. Had a horrid time playing 2017-2018 season in Turkey at Konyaspor. Had 3 coaches that season, which is not unlike the average number of coaches at Chippa United in a season, it must be said. Sambiumva, Mapungule, back to Kevin Moyle, also recently returned from suspension. Sat out 2 matches and then 1 other after being a near ever present until that red card against Cape Town City. But yeah, Lihlon Olisiema, who sits on the Chippa United bench, although not officially appointed 21st coach of Chippa United, if you include caretaker coaches who've sat on the bench as well, in other words, assistants who've filled in for head coaches who've vacated or been asked to leave their positions as Chippa United coach. He is the 21st man to sit on the bench for Chippa United, and they are only in their 7th top-flight season, which means a season being 30 matches in, that what we have seen is no fewer than, on average, it's a little over 3 coaches per season, or effectively just under 10 games per coach.
It's questionable, right?
Yeah, I was tending more towards horrifying. The chairman, Chippa Mbengesi, has praised his players for their courageous performances in the bio bubble, and has suggested that they will have incentives if they can pick up a point against Kaizer Chiefs. We'll see them avoid any final day relegation threats. That will be dependent on a host of factors as the ball is stolen here. Beautiful opportunity to turn it around. Kurt Lynch is dispossessed by Billiard. A little shoulder off the ball, but Billiard close to potentially finding a second as Jelly Tawari charges upfield as on the counter, Chippa United go. Stepping into danger territory. And that cross is just a little too far ahead of any player in a pale blue jersey, the sky blue.
I think it's fair to say that Chippa United were forced back from Kaizer Chiefs in this opening stanza.
Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs have looked very dominant and to impose themselves, even though Nurkovic has not been the main danger man. The focus is so much on him that it does potentially allow for overlaps and other players to be unmarked.
In the midfield is the familiar Katsande in the holding role in the middle of the park, and then Bernard Parker to his left and Manyama to his right.
So ambitious ball over the top. Judwana looked to control off the chest. Parker. Manyama. On a day in which 16 ABSA Premiership teams kick off 8 hugely significant fixtures, and ultimately fixtures that could well determine their fate before the final round of fixtures in just 3 days' time. Stanton Fredericks, you're a golfer, and you know that in the 3rd round, golf usually takes place over 4 rounds, professional tournaments. This is a look back at Billiard snatching the ball brilliantly just a short while ago, and Nurkovic seeing the ball to him.
Yeah, Lanky's just caught in possession. A good first time ball from Nurkovic, but unfortunately Billiard was struggling to turn, and Lanky's managed to get a very important touch that's seen him spare his blushes. Kaizer Chiefs will be looking for that comfortable goals. I say this cautiously because we know 2-0 is a very dangerous lead.
Yeah. Stasko Ndagama. Joe Ndagama of Highlands Park has always said 2-0. It's the most dangerous scoreline in football. It's the old adage, but he swears by it. Of course, it was Kaizer Chiefs and Highlands Park that met on the opening day of the season. Lebohang Manyama scored twice that day. And Matol got a late winner in that tie, and a 3-2 win. It's Frosler. Then searching, probing. And the national youth captain steering the ball. Turning to the starting lineup today. He and Kevin Moyo, the 2 most regular appearance makers for this Chippa United side this campaign. Only missed 3 matches apiece.
So Chippa United is failing to stop Kaizer Chiefs on wide positions from bringing in that balls that they like to do, playing up to Nurkovic. Something that Sundown stopped when they came up against Kaizer Chiefs, and it actually nullified the attack because it's very seldom that we see Chiefs go through the center of the park. So that man in the picture is going to be changing up things come the cooling break.
Yeah, so this is as it stands. They would remain on 31 points. But for Spindorp, his side would go 2 points clear of Mamelodi Sundowns. If all matches finished as they stand, of course, it's most unlikely to be the case. Sean Olusiema, formerly of Celtic, former Pirates captain, there's I suppose, an inherent dislike for Kaizer Chiefs on the footballing front, owing to his years at Orlando Pirates, former captain of the Buccaneers, played in the Soweto derby. So Leon Olusiema, having lost his mother during lockdown, and Mabofokeng, had a long time struggle with cancer, and then had several strokes. And Mato, having made that challenge on Skutlong, he lost his sister. Unfortunately, during lockdown, was given a few days off. May Malanganani's soul rest in peace. Cardozo shows his ability to sidestep an opponent.
We see a lot of confidence in the Kaizer Chiefs setup. I did mention the inclusion of Manyama and Kune will bring a lot of confidence to the side. You see them, there's no anxiety in their play.
There's always something talismanic about Itumeleng Kure, and Manyama adds creativity and genius and industriousness where possible. He had a horrendous start to his Chiefs career, including a car accident which kept him limited to only a handful of appearances, and didn't see his side into the top 8 last campaign either. But he is set to change that. And players like Daniel Cardoso at the start of the season was saying this is it, and not just meaninglessly saying it. They believe the Kaizer Chiefs will win the title, and they're only a matter of a couple of hours away from claiming that title. Walk back towards Sussman.
And if you look at this Kaizer Chiefs team before the bubble, I think that Manyama was certainly one of the top performers this season.
Undoubtedly. Only Ralani of Cape Town City has more assists. So while the cooling break is set to be coming, and Billiard was down on the ground for a moment, Rue Frostler taps the ball out of play. And it will be a cooling break while Billiard, who slowly returned to his feet, might just get a little bit of medical attention here. But this is round 29 of 30 in the Absa Premiership. And Kama Billiard, this is how the knock occurred. Malepe just catching Billiard from behind.
That was a very late challenge, and just clipping him behind, I think, on the Achilles.
Contact almost looked to be made in the hamstring, but he's the man who did find the goal. Just 9 minutes.
Jack in the box. Great anticipation. Popped up at the far post. And the breather for Kaizer Chiefs.
Captain Katsande, usually, not today. Itumeleng Kune has the captain's armband. Billiard back on his feet. As both sets of coaches find themselves having discussions. So Leon Olusiema, the coach of Chippa United, having signed on a 3-year deal, looking forward to just concluding the season, then having a pre-season, and then starting a new season. Oh, the Chiefs, we know, welcome back Billiard. There's the message, isn't it? Let's start by, yes, they certainly look fresh and hungry to the Kaizer Chiefs players. Oh, there is only one set of supporters who are hoping for that result tonight. But yes, it is a massive, massive evening. And in golf, the third round is called moving day, because you put yourself in position to claim a win or a draw or a loss effectively. See how you go on the final day, and that's exactly what it is today. Virtual fans engaging, but there's some delighted Kaizer Chiefs fans at the cooling break. After Billiard's goal separates these sides, the Serbian Nurkovic. How much does he have still to contribute this campaign? 2 matches remaining. He's got 13 goals. Itumeleng Kune, he's only had one real save to make. It was a deflected effort, and he pulled it off superbly. His first match since being stretchered off against Barocco on the 28th of September last year. And his 351st match for Kaizer Chiefs today, Itumeleng Kune. And with a sterling record. Had it not been for injuries, this is only his 16th match across the past 2 seasons. Kune. Ball in over the top.
It's immediately when the ball is played up to Jorkovic, 3 or 4 players just looking to get off the second ball. But it's fair to say in the first stanza that Kaizer Chiefs do look like they're up for the challenge. A lot of movement, a lot of positivity. You can see them comfortable in possession, but make no mistake, still early days. Chippa United have too much on their side in terms of quality. Like Savlenkis, Hamaldin, Sekotlong getting on the score sheet last game. So that will give him a lot of confidence and belief.
Hails from Mamelodi, of course, formerly of Mamelodi Sundowns, but was at University of Pretoria and Free State Stars before that. Long range strike here, and it's tame from Jurkovic. That's a 4th goal attempt and a 3rd on target now.
Trying to relive his moment against Polokwane City.
Yeah.
Very similar position.
Stunning comeback from Kaizer Chiefs, which incidentally is their last win in the ABSA Premiership. They're on course now for a win. Still much football to be played. And of course, Chippa United showed their never say die attitude after they went a goal down to Stellenbosch and came back with a late equaliser, courtesy of Sikotlong's added time equaliser. This Chiefs scored a host of early goals this campaign. Kamabiliad getting on the score sheet once again in the early minutes is something that they're hoping can lead them to another victory.
Kurt Lenk is just also forced to play very deep this evening. And that is why Chippa United finding it difficult to get out of their half. And that's something that Coach Siema would have mentioned in the cooling break, because you could do see a reaction getting a bit more width is Chippa United.
Yeah. Do they have the experience? Jodwana, still relatively inexperienced. Now managing to work this ball into the opposing final third. Challenge on Mapanga. The Human's crowd ball player going down under the challenge of another man who wears jersey number 21.
Just fell over his own feet. Doesn't look like Manyama got a touch.
So Kaizer Chiefs, early goal, scoring in the opening 15 minutes for the 9th time this season. Only 2 of those matches did they fail to win, and they haven't lost a match in which they've scored in the early stages. To the near side, here's the ball up, and that'll be offside. When Zakela Siwela raises his flag, you know that the decision is almost absolutely correct.
You can see just a bit of confusion between Parker and Frosler, not knowing who's going to go with the runner, who's going to go to the ball. These lapses of concentration like that can cause you to concede. It's in the details.
Again, searching, probing into that central position, but footing perhaps not ideal. Coming away with possession for just a moment. Manyama's been all over the park tonight as well. Defensively, he's applying a great deal of pressure. And he's haunted players like Mapanga and Mapungule as well.
This evening, it was always going to be about who wants it more. Not worried about the pretty football this evening.
Oh,
it's about the 3 points.
It's the business end of the season. Nobody wants to play pretty football. Does not matter. Cut back inside. Jadwana slipping into a slightly more central role into that central corridor. Mapanga flies up that far side. Again, Lentji's dropping deep, and Long looking to get on the end of one. But Sande manages to have, and Manyama looking to release Billiard forward. Decent idea, maybe just a little too heavy. Manyama, bear in mind, has got 10 assists this campaign. Not to mention his 6 goals in the Absa Premiership, plus 1 in cup competition.
And so if you want to win championships, you need a striker to get double figures. And the midfielders to chip in with at least 7 each, 2 or 3 midfielders. And I think those stats are decent for Kaizer Chiefs. If we look at the contribution of Castro, Norkovic, and that man you mentioned, Manyama.
Yeah, I had free kick here to the visiting Chippa United as Bernard Parker manages to try to challenge Mapungule from a very awkward angle. So set piece time for Chippa United. Jose Khamaldin has proved how dangerous he can be from these situations. Lentji's is a master tactician. Still scored one of my favourite goals in South African domestic football. I think it was 4 seasons ago in the Nedbank Cup against Black Leopards. He was playing for Maritzburg United at the time. The most delightful postage stamp finish. Postage stamp meaning top right corner.
Killed a spider in the corner, yeah?
Yeah, he took out a family of spiders, cleaned up the webs. Absolutely superb. It'll be Khamaldin to strike this, it seems, as Lentji's just turns his back on the ball. Staring down Kune, and carried away, but straight back into the oncoming players. It was Katsande, though, who managed to get the ball in and eventually away. It was a bit of a nervous moment from a man who has had a decent 2020 in the sense that his daughter was born this year. Back in February, he shared photos with the world. And his wife's Pelele, having celebrated the arrival of their first. Well, that's just poor. Ultimately, looking to combine, going on the charge, but we've got to look back to a moment ago. On target, powerful, a free kick specialist.
What a brilliant shot it was. Kune was unsighted. We did mention how dangerous Khamaldin can be. It was his first test of the evening, but he done the right thing. Was a little bit unsighted. Kune just parried it away from danger. He's the basics for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, had it gone slightly left or right, it might be 1-1, but Willard Katsande well positioned to tidy up.
So, Dwayne, you mentioned Kune new to fatherhood, and so are you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and welcome to the real world.
Thank you. So to Daniel Akpe, who we wish all the best. Man who suffered a concussion against Bidvestwood in the last game. His wife, Mala, having celebrated the birth of his second son recently during lockdown period.
So we'll have, from time to time, catch you in the passage with a mouthful of smiles. You're just looking down at your phone, looking at some pictures of your wall. Yeah?
As we must.
What's the young gentleman's name?
Secrets. It's named after somebody famous, that's all I'm saying. So Kaizer Chiefs up against Chippa United. They lead in a season in which they are effectively 3 footballing halves away from breaking the longest ever trophy drought in the club's history. And then it'll be, some are calling it a 13th title. Kaizer Chiefs, no doubt, will argue it'll be a 14th league title. Kaizer Chiefs approaching 5 minutes to go to half time. Chippa United for a brief moment and head into dangerous area. Skudong looking to find a finish, bustle his way beyond the Kaizer Chiefs defenders, but unable to do so. A little bit. Work that ball back towards Tupola. Oh, referee Gilly Giovanni went nearly down on the ground himself. Billiard down on the turf, but also nearly referee as well. I wonder if we've got a replay of the referee. The free kick has been called after Tupola's challenge on Billiard. Bodies on the floor. Parker and Moyle will share a moment's embrace as they rise comfortably and unfazed.
But Parker might not have been as effective on the ball as we've come to know him or even wanted to see more of him. But I think tactically he certainly brings a lot of stability and shape to this Kaizer Chiefs midfield. We can see in the action areas most of that football being played in the middle of the park. And Kaizer Chiefs are the bit more adventurous of the two.
Yeah, only 7% of the game. And that will translate over 90 minutes to effectively 6 minutes of time spent of the 90 minutes in that final third here. Again, there is a moment and Reeve Froster very cleverly just stuns it, but directs it back to Tumlenkune simultaneously.
Takes a lot of confidence to do that.
It does. Telly's high on confidence at the moment, Reeve Froster. And why not, after the quality of football he's playing? This is a special challenge from Moyo. Does not allow Muleko inside. Mato. He's under a little bit of pressure here from a retreating Billiard. And we are noticing as well just the work ethic of Billiard today seems much improved. He's a little more over the park. Mr. Paula.
Always say, Dwayne, especially for attacking players, it's not always that you're going to be in the game. And sometimes when you're not in the game, you're not getting the ball. The alternative is to work hard, chip in defensively. You then get momentum and you have a better game. And you might not be effective, but you've contributed to the team effort. And I think it's something that we haven't seen enough of from Billiard this evening. We're certainly seeing him with a brilliant attitude.
Sounds like you're going back to the Jeff Butler days of coaching. That's what he wanted from his attacking players.
If you can't run, you can't play football, especially in the modern game.
Yeah, the modern game is completely different.
Yeah, we've lost that number 10 that can eat extra chips and be a bit overweight and just stand and
stand in both balls though.
Yeah.
So approaching half time here, and the first corner of the game for Chippa United, looking to test Kaizer Chiefs' defence. Kamaldeen curling away from Pierre's goal, left it at the short post as well, at the near post. Richis will collect here. He sends a circle, but he's gone that off the side of the boot. It's almost recovered. Katsanda feeling that there was a free kick that could well have gone his way.
See, the minute Katsanda was out of position, Bernard Parker just assumed his role in the center of the park. And I mentioned how tactically aware Bernard Parker is and brings a lot of tactical acumen to that midfield for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, he does. And that's the thing. He's seen as the player who needs to score goals or at least set up goals. He doesn't have a goal this campaign. There's Bernard Parker. But tactical acumen, I mean, he's more than simply technically proficient. He understands the game, and it's not often recognized by everyone. He's come in for a lot of flack for moments that have suggested he's lacking a little in confidence when it comes to finishing. So ball hoisted in over the top here, long ball, and it's going to be recovered nicely by Moyo. Just steers it back to Willie Motwa. Downfield again. Malepe has been solid in central midfield for this Chippa United side today and does add that combative element in midfield.
He certainly put himself about, especially with the overcrowded midfield there. Kaizer Chiefs just outnumbering Chippa United. And it is forced Kurt Lane just to drop deep and assist with the numbers.
It's Manyama, just a little too strong. Yeah, Parker's vision off the ball is something to behold. Not suggesting for a moment that he gets everything right, but no player does. Not even Tuzani Sikotlong's great hero. He has a picture from when Mamelodi Sundowns played Barcelona 4 years ago. He has a picture with Lionel Messi after the game, and Luis Suarez is photobombing them. It's just a brilliant picture. And he's a massive Messi fan. He's Sikotlong. Foster goes on the charge again. Great chance for a second here. Brilliant tight angle, and he's missed it. Missed the target, and that is very uncharacteristic from Kama Billiat. Thought the confidence might be back after scoring the earlier goal in this tie. Doing everything right, bar the finish.
What a brilliant move down the left for Frostler. Cut it back. Billiat with the first heavy touch. He then improvised brilliantly with beating two defenders, and unfortunately with his weaker leg couldn't do the easier part of the move. Certainly opportunity was there for Kaizer Chiefs to get a healthier cushion.
So Billiat again involved. It's we've got 3 minutes of added time to play. Of the 4 that was added by referee Jelly Chawani. It's Matoho. Which rather deep. Billiat is calling for possession forward. Sussman. It's Frostler. The one thing that Liclono Lyceum has been encouraging Chippa United players to do, not that they've enjoyed much possession in today's tie, but throughout the season, they've largely been passing the ball backwards. We haven't seen nearly as much forward passing as we have with other teams. That's the first thing that Coach Siema was trying to achieve with this Chippa United side, is to get them passing the ball forward, moving forward. Kamaldin trying to take his chance. He's doing his bit, and the free kick called here in favour of Chippa United. Right on the spot was Zakele Suela, and he draws the referee's attention to it.
So Frostler just, I think Blanky's went down a little bit.
He did.
Easy.
Experience won him that. Got the body position in the right place. So this is a match of monumental significance, and of course the studio will discuss in depth at half-time, but a host of other matches taking place concurrent to this. All 16 teams in action, 8 matches in total. But the one that no doubt Chiefs fans will be focusing on is the result between Polokwane City and Mamelodi Sundowns. At the moment, the defending league champions Sundowns are leading by 2-0 leading up to half-time. Kaizer Chiefs leading by 1. They do have the advantage in the goal difference department to Kaizer Chiefs. Currently 21 goal difference. Mamelodi Sundowns currently 17. So there's still 4 that Sundowns would need to make up if it comes down to goal difference. And it may just do that if both sides win their remaining fixtures, or at least match one another's results in the last 2 matches of the campaign.
I think it's fair to say if both Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns win this evening, that'll see Bidvest Wits just fall out of that race.
Well, yes, then mathematically neither SuperSport United nor Bidvest Wits can win. Mathematically, SuperSport United can still win the ABSA Premiership title. But it's a very long shot. Both Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns and Bidvest Wits would need to lose their remaining matches Certainly the top two, but this Wits could draw a match and lose another. This is looking better once again. Kaizer Chiefs searching for a free kick, ultimately snatched away by Chippa United in the closing moments. And Kune has come off his line here. Open goal. Is Khamaldin going to strike it on target? Khamaldin! And brilliant on the line, putting his body on the line and head first. Daniel Cardozo steering it away. A goal line clearance after Kune had committed. And as we do that, we hit added time. Comments, Stanton Fredericks then on this opening half as it's brought to a rapid conclusion by the referee, nearly with an equaliser by Chippa United. Brief summary.
Chippa clawing back with limited opportunities. Kaizer Chiefs really imposing themselves here, and we see some of the just a mix-up in the defensive lines for Kaizer Chiefs.
United Polokwane City 0, Mamelodi Sundowns 2. No goals between Maritzburg United and Orlando Pirates. Black Leopards 0, Bidvest 0. Supersport United 1, Baroka 1. Amazulu lead against Stellenbosch. Maduna scored the only goal of the match then as we go into halftime. Peter Shalulile, he moves on to 15 goals this season as we speak. He is the leading top goal scorer as Highlands Park lead by a goal to nil against Cape Town City. This is the bottom half. Mark Williams, Amanda Dlamini, Jimmy Tau. Let me start closest to me then with Tau as we look at the things as they stand now, Jimmy, at halftime.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look good for Polokwane City. I don't see them coming back if this is how they are going to then approach this game. But Sundowns has been much more in control. But when you look at the bottom of the half, there you can see there isn't really a lot of movement. I think at the end of the game, we'll have a clear direction with Iago.
Hashtag SSDSK. Lulamila Roy says, good start for my team, Chiefs, but we can't keep up and the pressure is mounting. Ants must put fresh legs and get that cushion goal. There it is, then Amanda, 56 points, tied with Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of points, but you already know the story of goal difference at halftime.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Kaizer Chiefs made their intentions quite clear from the beginning of the match. They're pressing high and making sure that they don't give Chippa any room to try and build up from the back because they really forced errors that really turned out into opportunities in front of goal.
Mark Williams, let's look at the goal then that separates the teams at the Orlando Stadium. Kaizer Chiefs on the attack there. Look who's up front, who's going to end up bringing the cross that leads to the goal. Mato.
Yeah, Mato, and I must say, great flick on there. And, I talked about it well. I wanted to see Bella in the kitchen. And at this time, he was in the kitchen when a ball came across. He was at the right place. But, I think they had good intentions for Milani. They wanted to make sure that they score in that first 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, Amanda, what goes wrong here in terms of the defense of Chippa?
Well, hopefully Jimmy's going to join in because we're talking about it. A number of errors. One, Eric has a chance to turn. Eric is a defender first and foremost. As a defender for Chippa, I think I'd press him quite hard and make sure I get a corner or a throw in. Yeah. But he allows him to turn and gets a cross in.
Look, I think for me, just to echo what Amanda said, when the ball goes wide, you've already been missed by one chance from Nukovic. That cross is not supposed to come back. You need to cut it and secondly, reorganize yourself. But when you look at what Chippa did, they had so much time to reorganize, yet they failed to do that.
Okay, let's go then across to Loftus. It's also halftime. Polokwane City hosts Mamelodi Sundowns. Mark Williams, the way here, Sundowns take the lead.
Yeah, and it comes through set pieces, but we also see this was the downfall for Polokwane because, bad marking from Lani. First of all, they're not marking the men or running on the ball. And then obviously, if I was the goalkeeper, that's what he had to do. But the reaction of the defenders was a bit slow there.
And I think coming from a very unlikely source, even Mark, I'm sure that has been his first goal or second goal of the season. But here, again, individual brilliance from the likes of Utemba Zwane. And this is what we mean when it's tight situations like these. You need all these best players in the team to step up and really take control.
Yeah, that is class at its best. You see the interplay between the two, Zwane and Sereno. They've always been instrumental in those movements, playing within the pockets, that just dropping down and making sure that they're able to bypass that defense. A good team goal.
Amazulu lead by a goal to nil. Umaduna scored that goal. For the first time in a very long time, the goals for Amazulu, the goal scorer is not Ubong Nkosintuli. He's sitting on 12 goals, and there it is. What a strike! What a goal! 1-0.
What a goal by Bumlani. Just before that, you can see the tension what they had from Bumlani. I mean, even Majora was also one of the guys. But look at that. I mean, that is a fire of a fire. And that is a great goal.
Okay, they need the points, Amanda. They need the goals too. They lead by a goal to nil. They had a great victory, of course, in the last game that they played. And coming here tonight, they know exactly what's at stake.
Yeah, and the story has been in the second half, it's just about a team that manages the game a lot better. Because we've seen a lot of goals coming in the last minutes of the game. And here again, and forced error, and they pounce on it. So I think Amazulu now also doing really well in the previous game. They're now on 31 points. They're still safe for now.
Okay, Baroka take the lead here. Mahupa then with the goal against SuperSport United. But SuperSport United did equalize. Just look at this. A header inside the box. You'll see in the replay that there's just confusion, Jimmy. Just look at the defenders then of Baroka there.
And that is always the case if you have too many numbers, but you are not really marking. There's a difference between defending and marking. There had numbers, you could see that they had numbers inside the box, but in terms of picking up the potential of them scoring, of conceding.
Yeah. So I'm reading some tweets here, Jim. I'll stay with you, then I'll go just quickly because we're running out of time. A lot of people are saying we support Kaizer Chiefs on Twitter. Chiefs need another goal, a crucial goal.
Yes, of course. We're just talking of that could be a danger now because if Chippa scores, it's 1-1.
Amanda?
Yeah, just so that we go all the way to the Saturday.
We mentioned it could be goal difference, so they have to make sure they get and start scoring goals from Lani.
Okay, that's where we are. Then we encourage you right here on the Home of Champions to join us in Zoom with your reaction after the games here tonight. So we'll really love to get your views. Get ready then for the second half in Absa Premiership Football. Wozana Zo.
Champions League has formally taken the decision to suspend all matches.
What am I gonna do?
Toilet paper challenge.
Losing my mind. Girl, I don't know what to do.
Not for persons under the age of 18. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Joe, certified dead, Monday, 20 July. We tried our best in ICU. COVID-19 attacked Joe with vengeance. Joe ignored the symptoms, the dry cough,
Welcome back to Orlando Stadium in Soweto, where Kaizer Chiefs currently lead Chippa United by a 0-0 at the break. It could so easily have been 1-1, but Stanton Fredericks, who sits alongside, it could also have been 2 or 3-0 to Kaizer Chiefs, and we wouldn't have been debating that scoreline either at half-time. Kamabilia certainly could have had a brace at least.
Yeah, that man just not taking advantage. Done all the hard work by evading the two defenders. Chose to go with his laces rather than the instep, and unfortunately, Kaizer Chiefs will remain vigilant because we've seen Chippa United just before the break come in with an opportunity with a little bit hesitation in the defense for Kaizer Chiefs.
So half-time substitution here, and Augustine Chidikwem of Nigeria makes his way on as Chukwuana makes way at half-time. Second half is underway here at Orlando Stadium. It is Kaizer Chiefs in the black and gold who lead by a 0-0. And Diamakosi are now only 3 halves of football away from claiming the first league title in 5 seasons and ending their longest ever trophy drought. Again, Malepe heavily involved. Sees the ball ricochet with him and out of play on the near side. Kaizer Chiefs leading by that 0-0 against the Chippa United side, who threatened in the closing stages of the opening half and looked to be gaining confidence. That confidence may just broken by the momentum stoppage of half-time. As we scroll the lineups for you, only the one change to either side at half-time, with Quim, the danger man up front for Chippa United, having made his way on, looking to get into the action immediately. Here is the Chippa United side as it currently stands.
Well, during the introduction of Quim, would see Lankis move out wide to the left-hand side, and it looks like they're going to go with 2 strikers in Sekotlong alongside Quim, and that's going to just keep that defense of Kaizer Chiefs a little busy. You did mention that they got a bit of momentum with that opportunity just before the close of halftime, and they'll obviously come out of the blocks a little bit more confident.
Yeah, well, they had a little more momentum than just that moment, because they had the free kick that Hamildin forced Kune to save. Then they earned a corner shortly after that, and then the moment where Kune came off his line, and Hamildin's goal-bound effort was cleared away by Engo Cardozo. Kevin Moyo picked up the red card against Cape Town City, not suggesting he's a dirty player, but that was very clumsy.
Keeping a close eye on the goal scorer.
Little international action, both Zimbabwean internationals. Kevin and his brother Elvis, twin brother, I should say, Elvis. Muleka looks like he's hobbling a little here.
Elvis, the singer in the family.
There are times, Stanton Fredericks, where I don't know how you ever made it as a stand-up. Oh wait, no, that's why you were a footballer. That's it. It's yeah, Elvis Moyo and Kevin Moyo, twin brothers. They joined from FC Platinum last year. At the time, they were coached Chippa United by former FC Platinum coach Norman Mapeza. What a sense of humour, Stanton. What a sense of humour. It's crazy that somebody who passed away in the United States in 1977, who never left to perform anywhere outside of North America, became one of the most famous figures in the world, and over 40 years on is still one of those icons that is highlighted and certainly transcends music.
King of rock.
Rock and roll. Yes, Elvis Presley. That was Aaron Presley. He incidentally was part of a twin. His twin brother died on birth. At birth.
There you have it.
Apologies, missed that?
I say there you have it.
Just a little nugget of information tossed in.
But keeping a close eye on Sekotlong. I must say he protects the ball very well and gives his midfielders a chance to join, especially when he's left alone up front. And Simoleko, it's about the second time that he's just feeling something.
Yeah, so has sat down, and that means David Milner makes his way out. From Mompane's team doctor, David Milner, physiotherapist, have made their way out. Kaizer Chiefs are among the clubs who have a host of of medical personnel who they rotate. Meanwhile, Ramatli Patlele, man who formerly played at Moroka Swallows, at Mamelodi Sundowns, at University of Pretoria, and was ended his stunning run of club performances after injury on international duty against Cape Verde in Durban. Ends up finding himself on the bench and warming up.
So that's one of the options that Kaizer Chiefs can take. But we've seen Middendorp switch it around, and we do know that Frosler can play as right back. Possibly have an opportunity to bring in a midfielder if Maleko doesn't recover.
Frosler's first 3 games in the top flight were as right back, left wing, and left fullback. So his first 3 matches, a bit fits, ended up playing in 3 different positions. And so we go 5 minutes into the second half. Augustine Chidikwem will be looking for further goals this campaign. A man who has 7 across all competitions. And he would love to beat Itumeleng Kune.
So just getting back to Frosler, I was part of Bidvest set up as a scout when I first laid eyes on the young Frosler in PE. He played as a central midfielder coming to the Bidvest Academy, and hence we see him in the midfield very comfortable. It's a position that he is familiar with.
No doubt, he's showed his versatility all round though. And free kick going the way of Kaizer Chiefs. There's a couple of fingers up, as if to suggest first, second, third time I'm going to be speaking to you. Coming off the arm of Kevin Moyle.
I could be fair, it was more ball to hand than handball.
No doubt about the call. Match commissioner today is Jerome Damon, another one of the great ambassadors of South African football, who went to 2 FIFA World Cups, refereed at various international tournaments, including continental finals in Africa, and refereed at the FIFA Club World Cup as well, with Enoch Molefe as his assistant. He'll be monitoring the performance of the referee today. So from the set piece, doesn't beat the wall, but a second chance here into Nurkovic. Body on the line stuff from Molefe again. Takes a full Nurkovic stroke to the body. Positioning has been superb. The on loan Pirates man is the host of Orlando Pirates players, or former Orlando Pirates players in this Chippa United squad. There's been a good relationship between the 2 clubs, with players going in opposite directions. Control from Billiard, stealing into that danger area, but again, Moyo seeing it away. Muleko, no discomfort in playing that ball in, as to control and bring the ball down when Yama fails to quite work the ball goal bound. Gabola. Kamaldeen coming rather deep, but needed to keep that ball in play. And Chippa United missing a few players for today's tie. Here comes hopping in, but kindly here for Lentjes. He's on the end of it. Muleko just a slightly false step from him. Lentjes might try to drift back inside, because that right knee looks to be the one that's struggled a little. Steady, chips it beyond him. It's Kutlo and Quim both wanting possession. Kamaldeen has gone forward. Quim bustling his way toward the Chiefs' defensive line. I can tell you that Ramatli Patlele has got the matchday jersey on, which suggests that Muleko's not going to play any further part in this game, as Billiat now has possession in towards Nurkovic, and it needed a timely intervention. Just a little far ahead of Nurkovic regardless, I would suggest, but Sabiumba, the Burundi international, just getting the critical touch to see that ball away.
Yeah, it looked like Billiard thought about taking the shot. And it looks like the goalkeeper recovered in time and then trying to nip it through to Nurkovic.
So with that, free kick to Chippa, but we are going to see the substitution now. Skutlong fouled on the far side. This is how it happened. But while this free kick is being teed up, we are going to see the introduction of Ramatli Patlele. As Khotso Muleko makes way. He really is struggling. He's had very, very physical matches in succession. The match against Bidvest, how he stayed on the park is credit only to his mental and physical strength. But this, he seems to have undone himself with a hyperextended moment on his knee. Chippa United looking to test Kaizer Chiefs' defense from the set piece, but Murkovic sees it away. Free kick to Chippa United. Billiat asks questions. Mapangule, the fouled player.
Just getting a small touch and Billiat standing still and Mapang jumping into him rather.
Hamildine, you've got to think it's far too long to be directed. Kune's goal opts for deftness and away by Mato. Ketilavia through Mapanga. Sweeps it back in towards Malepe, who's the one player back. Outfield player back.
So it's a like for like, Moleko out and Opakela in at right back for Kaizer Chiefs. Experienced campaigner.
Thoroughly experienced campaigner. A man who's led the teams he's played for. Made his top flight debut when he was still a teenager and has been playing professional football for half his life now. And he's only 30. This is Mapanga. Looking for a ball in, it's found. Lenji's brilliant control from the former Sundowns man. And this time free kick goes the way of Kaizer Chiefs as Quinn commits the foul on Cardoso.
And Cardoso just clearing his lines and desperately trying to keep the shape at the back. Alongside Mato has done extremely well this evening, keeping a high line and dropping off when need be. But let's see the Kaizer Chiefs certainly not doing too much work defensively and dominating possession, playing most of the football in the half of Chippa United.
Nothing wrong with that. Keep the ball in your opponent's half. A little defending required. Pathele just sliding across. That ball was just about out of play anyway. And indeed, the call is for Kaizer Chiefs.
Sampatela will have a lot of time free on the ball. We see Mapanga just venturing forward because Kurt Lenkes that's playing on the left-hand side is more comfortable on the inside. So that'll leave Mpachela with a lot of time on the ball, and he'll have to just wait for Mapanga to come up. So not too much work for him to be done, but definitely keeping the shape, especially if the left-hand side Sussman does venture forward. He needs to just slot in and become one of the defenders centrally.
So Chippa United back in possession and trying to get things going. You'd have to advance this ball even further, get into a goal-scoring position. Drifting wide, Quem, but he's marked by Mato. Good battle developing between the two. They both enjoy the physical aspect. Lovely ball in here behind the line. Is there a chance to strike goal-bound? Cardoso seen that ball skew off the side of his boot, but certainly a very attacking moment for Chippa United now. Surely a yellow card coming here.
Yeah, a little bit naughty there from behind there.
Mapangule has only just returned from suspension.
Let's see, Parker just trying to start that counter-attack and clipping him from behind.
Ooh, that first one was a clip from behind. The second one, it looks like he treads on the outside of the ankle. Ooh, and that hurts. It certainly hurts. And then on top of it, he landed on his knee. You can see how much turf he took out. It's a yellow card for Mapangule. First caution of this game. Bernard Parker back on his feet, but only one of several things could have happened.
You see, since Chippa United decided to go with two strikers, they really keeping Cardoso and Matoho busy. The likes of Quem alongside Sukotlong.
Yeah, Sukotlong can hold the ball up really well. Mind you, so can Quem, but Sukotlong has got the ability to hold it up nicely. Fosler trying that long ball forward. It's come the way of Parker, but again, it's just been stopped this time by Moyo. Taken quickly by Lentjes here. It's good long. Ball in over the top. Hamaldin tries a little back heel, and Cardoso wise to the move, steering it away. Tupola, Malepe being closed down quickly by a retreating Billiat. Here's Lentjes again. A dozen years ago, you think about this, he was playing for that very, very good-looking Sundown side who played under Henri Michel, legendary French coach.
This is Billiat.
Lentjes.
Lentjes. Oh, for Sundowns.
Sundowns. 12 years ago, a dozen years, yes. Billiat for Sundowns only a few seasons ago.
Just
yes.
checking the math. Numbers wasn't my game.
I dare not say the word maths to you on air.
Polymath, mate.
There we go. Things you've never forgotten, volume 1. You can get interactive with us on your World of Champions, hashtag SSDisky. As Kaizer Chiefs lead Chippa United. As we hit the hour mark, it's a 0-0 in favour of the black and gold. A side that is claiming, edging closer to claiming its 14th league title. Chippa United, incidentally, all three of their efforts have been on target. They're not far off Kaizer Chiefs in terms of pass completion rate, or passes completed. Lentjes might have thought about a first-time shot there. Skutlong returning to Lentjes. No offside. Skutlong tries with a shot, and that skews off the side of the boot and well away from Kune's goal.
A little bit overplayed there, Skutlong. Just a little bit undecided. There was a hint of offside there. That's why Skutlong hesitated a little bit.
The worst, though, when the ball goes out near the corner flag and they don't call a corner. See the players walking back with wry smiles on the faces or heads down.
See how clever Billiat is there doing. He just stops, knowing that the defender's going to run into him.
And Mapanga, drawn into it, commits the foul. This is the flick on from Nurkovic. Boom. Takes one player out of contention. Billiat knows it's coming, and Mapanga falls for the trap. No option other than to award a free kick.
You mentioned it before, the absence of George Maluleka in this midfield of Kaizer Chiefs, especially when it comes to set plays.
Parker runs away from this one. Manyama will feed close toward that back post. Murko stayed on his line rather than come. He comes for it now and manages to claim. That ball rather kindly for the Chippa keeper, landed in between all of the players. Not in the time to get forward. Mapanga, well, he's conceded that he never really took his chances under Milutin Sredojevic at Orlando Pirates. Showing a little bit of skill on the ball. Far side. Topola. Mapangule. Chip into that 18-yard area toward the back post. Lentjes. It's effectively turned out to be a pass to the opposite flank. And a corner it'll be for Chippa United. And Lentjes with a shot towards goal that turned into a pass across goal.
Now you'd expect Lentjes, with his experience, to have a bit more composure there. A little bit undecided and a little bit embarrassing, because with his ability, we know that he could easily have stuck that in the net.
Well, they want at least a point here to Chippa United. They also wanted to limit the set pieces for Kaizer Chiefs, and they've done that. 2 of the 3 corners awarded in this game. Hamaldin, Kune got a little something on that. He was appealing for a foul that didn't come his way. Billiat looking to break free. Manyama, the return, here it is. Kaizer Chiefs looking for a second. Billiat looking for, oh, that's going to be a free kick, and we're going to see a card coming out here. The question is which color. there was a player back, but was that denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? Well, referee teasing everyone, firstly, by going to the, not the back pocket, but to his waistband where he collects his foam. Now, decision coming after he checks on Billiard.
Yeah, I'd love to see, was there a defender ahead of Billiard? If not,
Yeah,
clear
there is a
goal for-
man behind him, but certainly not on the line of the attack. Now, look at this.
his first touch. I think it's going to be a yellow, definitely
So,
outside.
yeah, there's no doubt it's not a penalty, but because Mapanga got into a position to challenge potentially that Malepe should end up collecting a yellow card, but the referee will have a conversation. And this is where having the experience of a Zakele Sewela will come in very handy. Tertius Malepe knows he's in trouble, the man who helped South Africa win the 2016 COSAFA Cup before helping South Africa play at the 2016 Olympic Games. Tutumile Nkune and Ulumwandao Matoho were two of the overage players at the tournament. So you can see the referee talking on his microphone. Got a clear view of it. It's a clear foul. It's clearly outside the area. Was it denying Billiard a clear goal-scoring opportunity? It's certainly not a penalty. It is going to be a card. But after consultation with his assistant referees, he is eventually going to make a decision. Are we going to see a red card? It is a red card. Tertius Malepe is off. They are down by a goal and down by a player. Kama Billiat looked to be well on his way to goal. If you've got the shot in, it might very well have seen the end of Chippa United's chances in this tie. And referee Jelly Johannes says that is the end of your game, Mr. Malepe.
Certainly took his time, listened to his assistants, and made a calculated decision, and I think it's the right one, Grant.
Yeah, to be fair, I initially saw it as a clear goal-scoring opportunity for Kama Billiat, regardless of Mapanga's position. And had it been a yellow, it'd be difficult to argue, but Tertius Malepe, having committed the foul on Billiard, thought there was no other option, perhaps. But set piece here to Kaizer Chiefs in a danger area. Down by a goal, down by a player. Chippa United looking to take on a Kaizer Chiefs side. And I will tell you this much. Kaizer Chiefs have done the double, the league double, the ABSA Premiership double over Chippa United on 2 occasions. They beat them earlier this season and could be on for a third league double over Chippa United. The other 2 times they did the league double over Chippa United, Kaizer Chiefs lifted the ABSA Premiership trophy. Is there something in the history books?
Is that the omen?
Advancing beyond the 10 yards, being warned to step back. Diamond Tupola and Kurt Lengis. Lengis collects a yellow card here. So set piece time, Kaizer Chiefs being very deliberate. Now Bernard Parker might strike it. Nurkovic is standing there as well. Who's it going to be? Nurkovic, oh, a thunderous effort that cannons and ricochets off the Chippa United defence. Out for the corner it goes. He went for the low drive, and that really could have ricocheted anywhere.
Well, that dummy wall is exactly where he was aiming. Sikatsande just breaking the wall, and Nurkovic trying to catch the goalkeeper unsighted. It's a low shot, and the Chippa United wall stood firm.
So, corner to come. Bernard Parker. Aiming for the taller target man in Matoho. Gets his head on the end of it, but can't direct it. So Matoho sprints back to his position. I think we're going to see a substitution before the goal kick takes place. Taken quickly by Mortua. You can have Substitution in prospect here is Chippa United again go on the surge, and indeed now we are going to go to the sideline, to the halfway line. So a young player with plenty of talent and ability, part of the TUT varsity football winning team in seasons gone by. Dibitso is on for the recently cautioned Lenchis. Meanwhile, Elvis Moyo is going to join his teammates. Cooling break time it is. So, cooling break here as Kaizer Chiefs and Chippa United go head to head. But there is much focus on what is happening all around the ABSA Premiership currently. And I can tell you, while we look at the two coaching benches and the instructions that come in from the coaching staff and the technical team, much of the focus is on Mamelodi Sundowns in their match against Polokwane for two reasons. Well, the moon Serbian striker after this challenge with Elvis Moyo.
Oh, they're just catching Norkovic at the back of the head.
No, we need to go around the outside. A little burst of pace down that far flank. Chippa United inside that final 15 minutes now. Here's Kumane, acres of space, looks towards then with the beautiful left boot. Looks to pick out Skutlong. He sides between two, but he's followed well by Cardoso, gets a second chance and steers it forward. Kept in play here by Nurkovic and subsequently by Moyo. A little bit of pinball. And Elvis Moyo picking up on it.
Chippa United looking a bit outfit since they got down to 10 men. It often happens and just sparks but the life in the team, especially when you lose a.
Well, trying the snapshot here, takes the deflection out for the corner, it goes. So set piece time again for Chippa United. Just a reminder, if you missed it, Tertius Malepe having received a red card. Meanwhile, the referee is approaching the bench of Chippa United, and assistant coach, long-time player, Free State Stars and Chippa United, Buiselo Sambu, picks up a caution here. Remains part of the coaching staff under Mithrono Luciema, who has brought a couple of technical team members with him from Bloemfontein Celtic as Hamaldine takes from the corner and a ball that was headed home, but after the whistle had gone, a foul on Kune. Chippa United protesting most vehemently and vociferously as Komane, who was the player who I suspect steered that ball in.
You could see clear contact in the 6-yard area. You see Kune. Goalkeepers are well protected in that 6-yard box, and looks like he
tripped
fell over his own player.
There's nothing wrong there.
He's asking for a yellow card, but he's going to have to give his own player a yellow card.
Tripped over his own player, it does seem to be.
Just made 2 saves this evening, Kune.
He did, but I wonder if Bruce Buvuma is warming up thinking not for the second match in succession, surely. So Tumulen Kune will be seen to here. So we've got just about 10 minutes to go. But the score remains 1-0, courtesy of Kamabiliat. And this is how it came, Stanton.
Yeah, brilliant flick on and a very alert Kama Billiard this evening, sneaking in at the back post and giving his side the lead. Had other opportunities to extend that lead, but fortunately, score remains at 1-0.
So, Kaizer Chiefs up against Chippa United here. If they can secure this victory, they will find themselves a win away from guaranteeing themselves the title. And a mistake here, potentially. Cardoso recovers. Oh, and hopping bad is Skutlong. Really got it right as well. Cardoso berating himself after that error. But potentially could have cost Kaizer Chiefs. The throw-in taken here by Chippa. And a ball ballooned toward the back post where no Chippa United player lurks. It will go out of play for a throw-in that will surely be taken by Ramathian Paslele. Long ball forward here from Paslele. Sabiumba. Mutua. Chippa United holding on to possession here. They've looked good in possession of Chippa United in recent times, and they look to be increasing the pressure. You can see their pass accuracy rate is now above that of Chiefs, and they certainly have completed more passes as well.
Especially in the second half, they've come out of the half-time break with a different strategy through 2 strikers up front and seen them see more of the ball. Something that Emma was trying to get. You mentioned the forward pass and a bit of patience when they are in possession. Seen Bloemfontein Celtic play some attractive football under the Tronolo Siema. Paying for a tackle there.
Just a touch of boots there, yeah. Certainly could have seen a caution. But none forthcoming. But it is interesting to note that after the red card for Malepe, as the offside flag is up, Emmanuel Desani with a rare bit of work to do in this second half.
See, that's the fourth offside for Chippa in the second half, and you can see them be a bit more direct, a bit more adventurous, and Quem just playing off the shoulder of Cardosa.
Free kick, Chippa United. But Kieran Backus sitting on the bench for Kaizer Chiefs today. In 3 days' time, he celebrates his 29th birthday. In 3 days' time, Kaizer Chiefs play their final match of the season. This COVID-19 interrupted season. And he'll be hoping that his birthday is a happy one. That's Kune. 7 minutes to play, plus some added time. Finds Milkovic here. There's Kune. Pahlele. Kumu towards Biliat. Pahlele going on the overlap, steering a ball in, but that central defensive partnership is looking decent. Referee Jelly Giovanni has whipped out that red card for Tertius Malepe, but the offside once again called. This time Quim again straying. Kaizer Chiefs, the top scoring team in the ABSA Premiership by a long way, up against the most goal shy team in the ABSA Premiership, Chippa United. It's hard to think. I mean, they've only scored 17 goals all season, this Chippa United side. Samir Nurkovic has 13 by himself for Kaizer Chiefs. Between he and Castro in the league, 20 goals. Castro is among the injured players for Kaizer Chiefs today. He's out of the bubble. So to Akpe with that concussion. So he will play no further part. Dumisani Zuma is also injured today, and a couple of other players that are also unavailable owing to injury.
Zuma, the last time the two teams met, got a race start for Kaizer Chiefs, and he managed to get both goals. It's seen Kaizer Chiefs get all 3 points.
Yeah, Dumisani Zuma scored both those goals, as you rightly say, when they first met earlier in the season. So Kaizer Chiefs, who won the NPSL title in 1974, in 1977, 1979, 1981 and 1984. Won the NSL title in 1989, 1991, 1992. Then went on to win the interim league season title in 1996. And then 5 PSL Euro titles if they manage to round out this victory here. Free kick going the way of Bernard Parker, whose industriousness has certainly aided Kaizer Chiefs this evening.
Experience coming into play, just seen that youngster was closing down on him, got his body in the way, and wins a free kick for his team. Run down the clock as well.
Pahlele looked to be a 50-50 ball, and down he goes. He's had ankle and knee injuries previously. And Elvis Moyer has been summoned by the referee. He walks closer. Medical team has made their way on as well. Pahlele looking in some pain here. For somebody who has suffered regular and frequent injury. Disbelief, shake of the head from Ernst Middendorp, who formerly coached Chippa United for a brief while.
Doesn't look too bad from that angle. See, he's a 50-50, but it does look like Moyo's foot was a little bit high catching Batlela on the shin.
He goes off his feet and the studs are raised as it comes through. Now, the referee will whip out. He's going to go for a red card here, and Elvis Moyo has made his way on as a substitute. Certainly the studs were up, there's no doubt about it. And the referee has clearly determined that Elvis Moyo was endangering the safety of Ramatian Batlela, which means a second red card in this tie, a second red card in this half, in fact. And an early shower.
When you correctly noted, you noted that his both feet were off the ground and the studs were showing.
And that's ultimately it. Less than 18 minutes of action for him. Takes a brave referee to whip out 2 red cards in a match. And he's decided that ultimately decided that it wasn't just a disregard for his consequences, that he was endangering his opponent. Batlela, though, back on his feet, I'm happy to note. Those are Chiefs. Playing 9-man Chippa United, searching for another goal, increase their goal difference here, and Kamapilya wildly swings the left boot at a ball in the closing minutes of the SAPSA Premiership tie. And while the first aim is surely victory, when they know that Mamelodi Sundowns are closing in on their goal difference, surely it might be mildly disappointing that they aren't increasing their advantage against a 9-man Chippa United.
You make a good point, Dwayne, but I think with 2 games, I think the 3 points, I think it's most important one first and foremost. Seeing that they have been stuttering of recent times, Kaizer Chiefs, struggling to get that victory on the 3 points.
So much going on across the 8 matches. I can tell you that both Peter Shalulile and Gabadinho Mango have scored their 15th league goals of the season. So we have 2 players who've gone to 15 goals this campaign. As things stand, a host of changes. Polokwane City, as things stand, would be bottom of the log, 3 points behind Baroka, Amazulu, and Leopards would be safe of relegation. And that's still in line for potential playoffs. Come the final day of the season, but Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns will be level on points. Goal difference cut to 4 if things end as they stand. SuperSport United, meanwhile, would be the 3rd team to hit 50 points this campaign.
Talking of SuperSport United, looks like Bradley Throbbler's on the scoring sheets as well.
So SuperSport United will be delighted if they can claim another win under Caetano Tembo, go beyond the 50-point mark. Throbbler has his 14th of the season. Parker jogging back to his position. He's been superb for this side. Daniel Cardozo has possibly come up with some of the more telling moments in this tie. Clearance off the line just before half-time was among the more important. Parker has looked really good. Manyama looked solid on the pitch. Frustration here from Kwem and Skutlong. 2 up front are being starved by excellent defense and good tactical awareness from this Chief side. Constant motivation from Ernst Middendorp. He knows how close they are.
Exactly, Dwayne. He knows how close they are, and anything can happen. Keeping him on his toes, keeping him awake, especially as the legs get tired, concentration fades.
Yeah, well, they've effectively been on top of the log for a year now. They've thrown away a multiple-point lead. Double figures. They were atop the standings at one stage. So they don't want to lose it now. And this is the danger part. Chippa United, against the run of play, could end up scrambling an equaliser. They know that that is a possibility. It seems unlikely given the context of this match, but it is a possibility. And if that happens, suddenly the title race is out of their hands. And that's something that they are well aware of.
With a two-man advantage, you expect Kaizer Chiefs just to slow things down, manage the game, and keep possession.
So Kaizer Chiefs, I remind you, finished the season against one of their bogey teams in Baroka FC, but it's a side that they managed to beat earlier this season. They play Baroka at Bidvest Stadium on Saturday. Simultaneous to that, Chippa United will be playing their final match of the campaign. Here again, oh, late chart here, that's out for the corner. Batlele with a rescue act to deny Queb a shot. And being appreciated and applauded by his teammates, Batlele.
They're just giving them time to get the ball in the box, and a brilliant touchdown from Quem. And Batlele had to be alert and on time, and what a tackle, and his heart is certainly pounding.
So Hamaldin from the corner. It seemed he was out of the 1 yard radius
for the second
that he's
time.
allowed. Yeah, just a little forward of that. It doesn't need to be on the line. It's part of the plane of the ball is over the line, but that seemed to be well beyond the plane of the yard mark. Vili Moto is almost on the halfway line, and that's a poor clearance. Great chance here if they could simply strike a ball on target. Kenyan Tidiakumu guy just looking to a little bit of pressure.
I think he was looking to pass.
It looked like a bit of a pass. Maybe he'll argue that point. I was looking for a teammate, unselfishly. Billiat. 90-odd seconds of added time remaining, and great defending here from Samiumba, who wins the free kick late on. So we go to substitution, and the goal scorer will make way. So Kama Billiat has his first goal in nearly a year of ABSA Premiership action. This was his last contribution.
He couldn't have come at a better time. He certainly put himself about. He's got that all-important stat with the goal. Opportunity to make it a brace, but nevertheless, it's sufficing so far. Popping up at the far post, Billiat.
So Billiat makes his way off, and the Zambian international, Lazarus Kambule, who in the bio bubble has found his first goal in the black and gold, comes on with less than a minute of added time remaining. It's going to be whipping off Reeve Frosler here and bringing on Pilani Zulu, a man who also celebrates a birthday upcoming. He turns 28 in 2 weeks' time, a man from Maritzburg. Frosler leaving the field of play at the nearest boundary line. And he's played his part, and Gerald Sebego says, well played. Time effectively up. Stanton Fredericks, your thoughts on the 90 minutes?
The Kaizer Chiefs scrapped out the 3 points today. Came into this game very positive, committing men forward. And were rewarded with an early goal. Had opportunities to make it two, but to be fair, Chippa came out second half looking to fight for it. Unfortunately, 2 red cards stunted their momentum. Kaizer Chiefs doing the job so far. I think a deserved 3 points if it stays like that.
Oh, it might just change here. After 2 red cards, as you say, one to Malepe, the other to Elvis Moyo. His brother Kevin picked up a red card against Cape Town City earlier this campaign. Moyo going back to goalkeeper Veli Moto, time running out. Moto wants to get this ball downfield, but it needs to be accurate. Surely now the final few seconds of this match. Free kick going the way of Chippa United. A set piece. Diamond Topola says this is the spot, Mr. Willett Katsande, who's quietly and proficiently gone about his business today. And Spittendorf. Oh, he can't watch. He's taken the seat. 61-year-old German coach, went for pro license. Kune back for his first game in nearly a year. Well over 100 clean sheets for this Kaizer Chiefs outfit. I'm hoping to help them to another one here. Hamaldin over the set piece. Where will Chippa United go? 9-player Chippa United searching for something, goal bound. And it's just going to drift wide of Itumeleng goal. And with that, possibly, the opportunity of victory has disappeared. Rick Sabiumba, the Burundi international.
He certainly threw himself there. It's landing awkward, possibly on the shoulder.
Landed very awkwardly, did Sabiumba. Hails from Bujumbura, which was former capital of Burundi. Now it's Gitega. Last year announced. So, Chippa United, 2 red cards in the second half, no goals in the game. It is Kaizer Chiefs, courtesy of Kama Billiat's early strike that seal the 3 points here. They go to 56 points. They're on course.